Hi, and welcome to Concert Blast. This is Mike Arnold in a special episode, a video episode, as well as an audio episode, with the one and only, who?
Brian Milson.
Brian, tell them what's going on this week. It's so special. That's coming up for you.
We've got a song coming out called Nothing Grows in Shadows, and we're going to use that to launch an anti-bullying campaign. And just October is National Bullying Awareness Month, so we're really trying to just increase awareness and try, hopefully make a positive difference with this project.
Brian's a country music singer, songwriter as well, and you've been on the, I guess, in the country music atmosphere for quite a while. For what, about 8 years or so? 5 years? What?
Actually, it's been more like 11, but professionally 10.
10?
Yeah, I did the couple of open mic nights, and then all of a sudden I got a $50 bill for my first professional gig, and I was like, this is awesome.
That's a good feeling, isn't it?
It is.
Were there people there that night on that $50 bill? Were there a lot of people there cheering you on, or were they say, hey, give the guy some money?
It's the biggest crowd of 5 I've ever seen in my life.
Biggest crowd of 5. That's what I like to hear. See, I don't like it when people start off and then all of a sudden they got a whole room full of people or a whole stadium full of people. But you did have a lot of people. We'll get to that a little later. What we're here to discuss is this particular song about bullying. And tell everybody the name of that song.
It's called Nothing Grows in Shadows. It's a Red Aikens, Dallas Davidson, and Doug Johnson tune. Just a very, very powerful lyric about bullying. And, I was bullied as a kid, and unfortunately I did a little bit of the other too, which I still regret, have to live with every day. But it's just such an important topic because nobody deserves to be treated that way, and nobody thinks that anybody thinks they're cooler than anybody else. It's just not true. There's no such thing as a rite of passage in my mind.
Right. Now, there's a video that's very heart-touching. And I don't know who produced the video, directed it, but they did a really good job. But the music is very good, too. And it's produced by, tell everybody that.
You might have heard of him, a guy named James Stroud.
And tell everybody who he's worked with, some people.
Well, he played drums for Marshall Tucker Band, Tina Turner, did a few studio sessions.
I think I remember those guys.
Yeah, you might have heard a song called Old Time Rock and Roll. Bob Seger, he was on the drum track of that.
Yeah.
And he's, not to mention, produced 130 number one hits and counting. Oh. And so he's
worked with like Toby Keith and Willie Nelson and a few other unknown people.
Yeah, there's one guy, George Strait. I don't know, 60 number ones. I don't know. I mean, it's small potatoes.
Well, speaking of George Strait in Texas, which is where you're from, right?
That's right, Odessa, Texas, made famous by Friday Night Lights.
Yes.
Yeah, two seasons in Odessa, Texas, football season and off season, which is it's kind of hard to explain how I got into music, but the football and the baseball and the golfing just led me to guitar, I guess.
Well, let's talk about that. So you tried football.
I did.
And you didn't care for it, or?
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. In Texas, he loved it.
I absolutely loved it. Loved football. No, it was. I had a real passion at the time for baseball, and I was a decent baseball player. I threw out my arm when I was 17, so it just baseball wasn't in the cards anymore, and so I decided to pick up a golf club, and I'd been playing since I was a little kid, so I joined the golf team, and then decided to pick up the guitar just give me a little avenue to be able to talk to the ladies, and it just developed into a passion.
So the passion was for the ladies or for the music?
No, the music. The music.
But it's okay to have the passion for the ladies as well, right?
That's right. I rapidly grew to love music. I've always loved music, but I didn't realize how much I did love it until I was trying to learn how to play it. Really developed an unbelievable respect for just the creative energy that goes into writing just a song. I mean, not even producing a record, but just writing a song. And I started playing those open mic nights, and it just got down in my blood. It was just addicting.
Open mic nights. Was that just you and an acoustic guitar?
It was. I had a friend play with me, the first one I ever did, and then I started kind of doing some of my own stuff because I wasn't quite developed in the guitar chops just yet, but it made me realize how much I need to practice. Right. and it really, really helped in my development too. I just, I guess 9 years from that date, we're sitting right here.
So when you left, I guess there came a time in your life, I guess, when you said, "Okay, I'm ready for a band." What kind of sparked that?
Well, just I guess you go to these live music venues. I went to school up in Lubbock at Texas Tech, and there was a cool little music scene there. And that was back. The one wave of Texas music was becoming real popular, and so there was bands everywhere. But it was just seeing the chemistry that a band has together and making their own music and even playing the cover songs and making it their own was just so cool. I was like, man, this would just be so fun. Mm-hmm. So I put a band together and.
Well, wait a minute. Now, it's fun as long as you have a good receptive audience. But
honestly, it is nice to have a full room. But when you get to play in and develop the brotherhood with a band, you can play for a big crowd of one. It's just it's a labor of love. If you're in the music business for the money, you're in the wrong business. And that's what I keep telling people. But you must be just hand over fist making money. No,
just tell them yes.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it would be easier. It would be easier, but I'm an honest person. But I just like the music. I'm in it for the music. I'm in it for the love of the music. And this, going back to the Nothing Grows in Shadows, this is something I'm really passionate about because I've experienced both sides of the bullying thing. And just to be able to mix that with my love of music is an unbelievable feeling. It's awesome to be able to be a part of this.
Okay, so you have a band now.
I do.
All right. And when you first started with your band, what was the first big, huge thrill that you had in your life?
The first time I ever saw somebody other than one of my friends singing to one of our original songs.
Oh, wow.
That was, I'll remember it was a place called Blaine's Pub in San Angelo, Texas. And I knew maybe two people in that crowd, and there was this one specific person sitting at the third to last seat from the bar, like watching and singing along with one of my songs. And I was like, this is unbelievable. It was a really cool feeling. And so it just kind of added to the music high, and it just seems like it keeps growing. There's nothing, you never come off of it.
When I had a local band back in the 80s, well, that shows my age, doesn't it? But I had some friends tell me, and I tell them, man, the place was packed. And he says, you haven't made it until you don't know anyone in the room.
Right.
And I'm going, oh, I never thought about that. If it's packed with all your friends, What good is that? They're going to support you. But the people that you don't know, like you just mentioned, if they don't know you and they're out there singing your songs, and then you could be bragging about something. So you have a right to brag on that one.
Yeah, I'm not a real bragger. But that was one I told everybody. Over and over and over again.
I don't call it bragging. I call it sharing information.
That's right. Just you got to let people know how you're doing out there. Sure.
Hey, and I'm interested in knowing how other people are doing as well, and I'm sure you are too.
Oh, sure. I like to know where I'm at and where everyone else is at. Just kind of you got to always be attentive where the bar is. You just never want to get behind on things.
Which bar are you talking about?
Touché.
So okay, now we got a band. You got some songs. Did you happen to play in front of a large crowd, like opening for someone big or anything like that?
I've got to open up for a lot of people, but the highlight is Willie Nelson.
Oh yeah,
that was cool. You want to talk about the most diverse music crowd I've ever seen in my life. And just to show how much of an icon he is in the music world, not just the country world. There was, you got your bikers, you got your punk rockers. You just all these different groups of people coming to see Willie Nelson. And I'm just like, this is unbelievable. And so we get to play, and my sound's a little traditional in a sense, a little kind of soulful, energetic, traditional music. And we started playing that, and a lot of people really, really responded well to us, and that's kind of when I figured we were onto something, and here it is a few years later, and we're got James Stroud producing the record, and just this really awesome cause that I'm a part of, that people believed in me to be a part of. So it's been an unbelievable ride.
Well, when you first started out, I think I saw some old clips of you wearing a big old black hat. You still wear your hats?
Every now and then. If it's cold outside, I'll put that black hat on, just because I mean that thing's an oven.
Okay, everybody out there that's looking at him. All right, if you wasn't in country music, and you could actually pass for Springsteen's brother.
Really? Well, that's the first time I've ever been told that. I've been told.
You look like a young Springsteen.
Well, that's cool. I like that. And it's I've been told Jason Sudeikis. I've been told Dane Cook, but never Bruce Springsteen. So that's a compliment. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Look at him, guys. I'm telling you. Look at him. There he is. Do you ever do cover songs when you perform?
I do. I do a wide range of cover songs. We cover Purple Rain.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
in a country style.
We kind of make it where it's a kind of a '90s alternatives style, just real loud guitars and just kind of up the tempo a little bit. But it's become one of our kind of a staple.
Well, I love it when people do cover songs that you don't expect in a style that you don't expect.
Right. We recently started covering that Alex Clare song "Too Close." And it's just, we kind of like the same rock it out, because we don't have the synthesizers or whatever they use to make those techno sounds or whatever. But I'm not even sure it's techno. It's just
it's keyboardist or computerized.
Sure. Yeah. Oh, I believe dubstep. Does that sound right? Dubstep. Yeah. Yeah, so I believe it's dubstep. We don't have the dubstep equipment, so we just try to mask it with some guitars.
There's some good stories in that video. Getting back to the song, the reason we're all here is to push this song about people being bullied, and not only by your schoolmates but actually there's a clip in there which really touched me, is about a father bullying his son, probably not meaning to. Yeah, but tell him, you get out there, stop acting like a sissy, get out there and hit the ball,
Sure. Yeah, and that's kind of an element of bullying that not a lot of people see. The overbearing, probably not a great term, but the overbearing parents that just were taught, pushed hard, But there is a fine line with that, and I think the song kind of brings that out. Just kind of brings it to light more so than anything. And she's like, "Why didn't think about it that way?" Because the way this song is put together, it's in a way I've never heard or would have ever thought about before. Because like the third verse of that song kind of brings it all together, and just be like, "Wow, I didn't think about that either." But I'm not going to give it away. I just wish we'll just let y'all hear the song, and watch the video. So
did you have any input into how the video was created?
Actually, I let Steven Shepard, the director, I kind of let him take his own turn on it, and man, the treatment was unbelievable. He hit it right on the head with it, and it just came out just awesome.
And then at the end, where he talked about bullying the guy who saved his mother's life. Wow, what a tearjerker that is!
It's the way, like I said, the way it put it together, it just kind of brings it home. You're on turn 4 in Daytona, and just you're half a mile ahead of everybody else, and just bam, and then you're just that is the way the song made me feel the first time I heard it, and I really hope it kind of comes through that way when other people hear it.
Well, it's a well-written song. You did a great job singing the song and performing the song, and the video is excellent. I would suggest everybody to get out there and to get you a copy, right?
Absolutely.
Of Nothing Grows in the Shadows.
That's right. It comes out digital release October 8th.
October 8th. So get your copy and make sure you get the video. Watch the video. It's very touching. I really appreciate it. And I appreciate your time with us here today, too.
I really, really appreciate that. Thank you. It's always a pleasure meeting new people, so thank you so much.
Well, Brian, thank you.
Thank you.
Take care of yourself, buddy.
Yes,
Tell Odessa, Texas, Concert Blast said hello.
Concert Blast says hello, guys. Love you, Odessa.
Thank you, everybody.